Hey everybody, it's Steve Melia and I am live in Austin, Texas. I got my dog, Desi Doodle. If you've been following my Facebook Lives at all, Desi pretty much travels with me everywhere I go. And over the last 12 days or so, we've broadcasted from Vegas, Fairfax, Virginia, North Carolina, then South Carolina, then back to North Carolina, then Atlanta. And today we're in Austin, Texas. And Desi Doodle has been there for just about the entire journey. Des, you got anything to say to the listeners today? Anywho, he's a little shy, camera shy. Anyway, over the last couple weeks, today's day 13, I've been doing 30 ways, 30 days that you can enhance, improve, design your life, and I've just been given one tip a day, and I truly believe that if you incorporated these 30 tips into your life, that you will have a better life, that you'll enhance your life. These are positive things. I'm not asking anybody to do anything that they can't do. One of my mentors, Jim Rohn, said, success is easy. What's the definition of easy then? Well, it's easy to do and it's easy not to do. Easy really just means that it's doable. Unfortunately, the things that it takes to be successful, because they are easy, it's just as easy not to do them. So they're easy to do, as Jim Rohn always say, as he would always say, but they're also easy not to do. There's Desi. Desi, you agree with that? Oh, that's a good point. I see some friends join. Brad Hall. Brad, hope you're well. Roberta, Brittany, Teresa, Mary Beth, Jim, good to see you, Lewis, and Bill from Wilmington. Excited, guys. We're going to see the Dead & Company tonight here in Austin, Texas. It's right on the campus of the college, the University of Texas, and just excited. This is a band that I guess I had been, when I was in diapers, my brother Mike and some of his friends would always listen to this kind of music. Not this kind of music, this band, the Grateful Dead. And then in college, I got turned on to it again by some of my friends that I hung out with. And then about 3 years ago, my friend Rami and my other friend who we call Slug, Steve Ferrara, they invited me to go to Chicago for what was going to be the 50th anniversary and the Fare Thee Well tour. And I just had such a blast that I've been listening to music ever since, pretty much daily. And over the last 2 years, I've been going to Dead & Company. It's just been a blast. And so some of you actually that I see on here, Jim Raines as well as some others, are big fans of the Dead. And so it's great to see you. And I haven't even met some of you yet, like Jim. But Jim, I understand you're going to Mexico, and I hope to definitely see you in Mexico. They are having a huge 3-day fest, February 14th. And it's going to be super cool. So anyway, I've got a bunch of viewers on today. We are just in a little park across from my hotel. If you've ever been to Austin, really 6th Street is where it's at. Party galore, craziness, live music. And I'm not sure what happened, but at some point, I don't like to say that I've grown up, but at some point I've gotten older where last night was a little too much for me. We walked into this one place and the guy's like, "Oh, sir, if the music's too loud for you, we have an acoustical guy upstairs." And I was like, "We'll be fine down here." And I stayed just to spite him. But today what I'm going to talk about, I've talked about a lot of different topics and they're sort of success related, but today I'm going to talk about a word that to me has helped me immensely through my career, and it's the word commitment. And I once heard it defined that commitment is doing the thing that you said you would do long after the feeling or spirit that you said it with has left you. That's a long definition, so let's look at it again. Commitment is doing the thing you said you would do, okay? Now, for a lot of people, that's really, you can stop it right there, right? Commitment, just do what you say you're going to do. If you got an appointment, don't call up and cancel it. If you're supposed to speak at a meeting, don't call up and cancel it. If you say you're going to reach a goal, do everything in your power, plus some, to reach that goal. Commitment's doing the thing you said you would do. That's part one. Let's look at part two. Even after that feeling has left you, okay? I think what makes people super successful is they don't care about their feelings. They don't wake up in the morning and go, "Should I work out today? Yeah, I don't really feel like it." They go anyway, okay? They don't go to decide whether they're going to eat at a fast food joint or something healthy. It's not even an option. Successful people are committed. Discipline, I guess you could put it this way, discipline is like the first cousin or the best friend of commitment. It's hard to make and keep your commitments if you're not disciplined. I think discipline is just like the staying power. My mentor Jim Rohn once said that discipline, this is a beautiful one, discipline weighs ounces. In other words, it's easy to do. You can do it. Discipline weighs ounces. Going to the gym, you can do that. Eating healthy, you can do that. Setting goals, you can do that. Being super successful in your company with sales, you can do that. Being well behaved like Desi Doodle, you can do that, right? But it's also easy not to do. And what discipline does, discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. Ooh, isn't that a good one? Discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. In other words, at the end of your life, if you look at two people and one's eating healthy and they don't smoke cigarettes and they just lead a good life. They work out, maybe they have vitamins, maybe they're on a nutrition plan. It took little steps to do it, and at the end of their life, they're happy. They've lived a good life for the most part, right? But somebody that maybe smokes 2 packs a day, discipline would have been easy, but now the negative compounded effect on the other side of it, regret weighs tons. And so hopefully that resonates with some of you. And my goal is just to help you guys, whatever your goals are. Let's see who else we got. Margot, thank you, Mary Beth, for that comment. Mike Savula, what's up, buddy? How's life being a dad again? Round 2. Matt Curry, Brad Hall, Jody, Jen Quigley. Jen, you used to remember when you didn't think I liked dogs, but Jen runs a, well, Jen, you can post what you do, but she runs a, I'm trying to think of the words for it, where she helps pets that don't have homes, little pets that don't have homes. Doug Shaw, a friend of mine that's a Canadian, Scott Opal is watching, Peggy. And hello, everybody. Today, again, I'm just going to spend a couple more minutes talking about it, but the word commitment. Commitment's doing what you said you would do in all aspects of your life. And I made a couple notes. First of all, if you've had problems committing or keeping your commitments, what I'd recommend you do is don't just commit to yourself. Committing to yourself is important, but sometimes what successful people do is they are committed even when no one's watching. But just to improve your odds, the best thing to do, what I always like to do when I have a big goal, is share my commitments with the people that are the most important to me, where if I tell my brother I'm going to do something, you know what? I'm doing it, right? Whoops, sounds like the police are coming for me. Guys, like or love if you hear the sirens in the background. But when I'll give you one example. Is a few years ago in our business, we set a really big goal, and the goal was something that was out of our comfort zone. It was going to take a lot of action, but the CEO found out about the goal, and he's like, hey, I want you to tell everybody about this goal on a national conference call. And so once we committed to everybody that we were going to do it, it was really hard to turn around. And one of the things that I like to do in my business is sort of like is get people to do things that, in other words, lock people in. Right? You ever been so far with a goal that you say, hey, I can't turn back now? I'll give you one example. When I did my 162 games in a season, that took a lot of commitment. There wasn't a lot of other skills involved besides just attending 162 straight baseball games, but I had to go every single day. And guess what? Most of the days, I didn't feel like it. And that's one of the main points I want everybody to get out today, is that commitment's not about whether you feel like it. In the business that I'm in, going to one weekly meeting a week for 52 weeks is essential in somebody's success. In fact, I've never met anybody that religiously goes to a presentation and is actively in the game that hasn't had some level of success. Then why don't everybody do it? I don't know, right? Again, if people just take that action and they just like going to the gym, or maybe for you it's your spiritual, you're going to church, but just going whether you feel like it or not. So committing to other people is a huge part of it. Just going to refer back to my notes here for a minute. I love this, is you can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. In fact, excuses are like the kryptonite to commitment. Excuses, they just erode. And sometimes it even looks like an excuse could be valid. But one of my mentors, a woman named Kate Grossi, 20-something years ago, she was adamant about not taking other people's excuses. And Desi is doing well here. She is very well behaved. She's not usually this well behaved. But she said that all excuses are equal. Isn't that interesting? All excuses are equal. Come up with anyone. And sometimes people will give you more than one excuse, and it's like, hey, I don't need more than one. You only needed one to tell me why you're not going to do something. So be the kind of person, have the kind of character that says that if you're going to commit to something, go for it. I'm not saying commit to everything. In fact, when you work for yourself, it might be a little bit more difficult to be committed, because when you have a job, you know what? If you don't show up at 9 o'clock, you're fired. Or maybe you get away with it a couple times. But when you work for yourself, or things like working out, or where nobody's really there to watch you, you have to have that discipline. You have to have that commitment to see it through. So give me a like or love if you know what I'm talking about today. I see my friend Mike Bishop on. I see Damien. Damien's a huge Yankee fan. Damien, how'd you like that Aaron Boone manager pickup? Some of you know, last year I had Brett Boone, former Major League player, I think a 4-time All-Star, Silver Slugger, a gentleman that was super kind to me, wrote a book last year, and I had him on my podcast. In fact, you can go to the 162guy.com and watch that replay of the podcast that I did last year with Brett Boone, who is the brother of now New York Yankee manager Aaron Boone. I'm already getting texts from people for free tickets. Well, just one guy, but I don't have any free tickets, you know. Anyway, I'm getting off track a little bit. I see a lot of my other friends. Chip Humphrey, one of the reasons I decided to do this outdoors today and include my dog is Chip Humphrey does a Facebook Live every day, and he actually made a smoothie. He was making smoothies, teaching people how to make smoothies today, and I said, man, that guy is picking up his game. He's got a tripod now. He is really going for it. So Chip, thank you for elevating my game. I decided to go outside today and do that, and absolutely, I like that. Kryptonite. Excuses are the kryptonite to commitment, and just take, one excuse too can be like a virus. You know how like you just get a little bit sick, but all of a sudden a disease can spread? So can excuses. I talked about the slight edge a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things I said about the slight edge is successful people take full responsibility, good, bad, or indifferent, no matter what their results are. And so excuses are really the opposite of taking full responsibility. Excuses are saying, hey, this, whatever we're talking about, is not in my power. Man, we have a full house today. I love these Saturday Facebook Lives, and I'm going to be totally transparent with you guys, which I always am anyway. It's hard not to be when you're live, but I did not feel like doing a Facebook Live today. I did not want to do a Facebook Live today. And my girlfriend, Mary Beth, said, what are you going to do it on? And so as soon as I said commitment, she goes, well, great, now you can use yourself as an example. And it's been fun, and I'm super excited that I got to do it. Desi's super excited because I got to take her for an extra walk today. And then we're going to, we're in Austin. And if you've never been to Austin, it is a fun town. And there's college football on. There's a lot to do. And I did not feel like working out. She said, come on, we'll go a half hour. And I said, all right, I'll do it a half hour. And I was even kidding around. When we left the elevator, I said, okay, the time starts now. But the reality is we worked out for close to an hour. Because once you start doing the thing that you were committed to in the first place, you realize that it's better off. Like, how many times have you not wanted to go to church? And you go to church and you're there for 5 minutes and you're like, I really needed to hear this today. Or in our business, you go to that weekly presentation, that training, and you're like, man, I needed to be around the people today. Or you get to the gym and you're like, man, I really needed this today. Or you eat that salad and you're like, man, this was so much better for me than a Big Mac today. So again, guys, my message today is be committed. That's number 13. Be committed, stay committed. Commitment's doing the thing you said you would do long after the feeling or the spirit has left you. Guys, my name is Steve Melia, and I haven't asked you to share today, but if you've liked my message today, I want you to do me a big favor. Chip and I are in a little bit of a competition about who can get more shares, and yesterday I forgot to ask for shares, and only about 10 people shared, so do me a huge favor if you liked any of the information that you saw today, or you would like me and Desi and I to continue our little tour around the country. Please share right now. Please do it. I can see who shares, so it's not like I don't know. I mean, I look, as soon as the show's over, I go, oh, okay, I got a certain amount of shares. So Chip, Roberta, Sue, Bruno, Mary Beth, Susan, Brad. Hey, Jimmy Assad out in Florida. What's up, buddy? Damien, Roberta, Linda, Mary Beth, Margot, Chip, everybody, if you could just share this right now. And I'm going to give my closing comments, not that anybody's interested, but my closing comments about the New York Yankees selection for Aaron Boone. I don't know. I'm a little, I was surprised, excited because I had Brett Boone on my podcast last year, so I feel like I have a little bit of a connection to the Boone family. In fact, I do have Brett Boone's phone number, and he calls me every once in a while, so that's pretty cool. But I didn't reach out to him because I figured a lot of people were. But, man, to pick a manager, a leadership position for somebody that's never been in a leadership position on any level, never managed a little league team, college team, and to go straight from his career at ESPN, I'm a little, puzzle's really not the right word because I believe and I trust in the management of the New York Yankees, so I like it. And hey, we got so much talent right now. It's just, what's the worst that can happen? Aaron's not the right fit and we get a new manager next year. So I was a little disappointed the Yankees didn't reach out to me and ask me. I don't have any experience, so I have about the same amount of experience as Aaron Boone. But anyway, I was very excited. I'm predicting right now that the New York Yankees will win the 2018 World Series. You heard it here live. They're 5-1 in Vegas right now. Last year, this time, they were 28-1, and I put $200 on. So for the whole season, I thought I had $5,600 coming in. It didn't happen. So I was just in Vegas a couple weeks ago. I saw it was 5-1, and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it for 5-1. I would do it for 12-1, 15-1, 20-1. But how about this? Wouldn't it be cool if Aaron Boone wound up being the manager of the year in his first year? And he's got a lot of talent out there, guys. Anyway, this is Steve Melia, going to see the Dead & Company. You guys like my shirt? Check this out. Check this out. Hey, Desi, I'm trying to show these people my shirt. Back off. Right? It's the Steely face with the New York Yankees there. Give me a like if you like that. Except for playing. Hey, Mike, he played, okay, in Aaron Boone's defense, he played 12 years as a major league player. He hit the walk-off against the Red Sox in 2003, if you guys remember that. And he grew up. He's the first, him and his brother Brett was the first third-generation Major League Baseball player. So his grandfather was, I think his dad's name was Bob Boone. I'm trying to think of his grandfather's name. But the Boone family is the first family ever to have 3 generations of baseball players. So Aaron said that, hey, I've been being trained for this job since I was in diapers, right? And so I'm super excited. You know, I would much rather have been Aaron Boone than one of the other guys anyway. So he has been around the game a long time. He knows baseball in and out as much as anybody does. But it's just the one thing that I'm concerned about is that experience factor of actually filling out a lineup card and knowing how to manage a Major League Baseball team. So a lot of great friends. Hey, guys, thanks for following me. I certainly appreciate it. My name is Steve Melia. Facebook Live from Austin, Texas. We'll be in Austin again for the next couple days. And then guess what? Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to New Orleans as they say it, and then we're headed down to Florida. There's 4 more shows on the tour. We're going to be hitting every one of them. Living the dream, baby. Hope you're well. God bless. Give me a like. Please share. Bye-bye for now.